Emma and Daniel had been married for 12 years, and their love story was the envy of those around them. They met in college, two souls drawn to each other by shared dreams and understanding. Daniel was a stable, dependable man who built his life brick by brick, and Emma was a dreamer who added color to their world. Together they raised 3 beautiful children: Lily, the artistic oldest, Noah, the curious middle child, and Mia, the little girl whose laughter could light up an entire room. Their life wasn't perfect, but it was their life. Daniel worked hard as an architect, and Emma combined freelance graphic designer work with running a household. They were a team, Daniel thought. But in her heart, Emma felt a growing unease. She loved her family, but the monotony of everyday life made her yearn for something more, something she couldn't put a name to. It all started innocently enough. Emma met up with an old friend, Lucas, at a high school reunion. Lucas was everything Daniel wasn't: spontaneous, adventurous, and free-spirited. He was a travel photographer, and his life was a series of breathtaking landscapes and fleeting connections. Their conversations were simple and easy, but they soon grew into something more. Lucas listened to Emma in a way Daniel hadn't listened in years. He made her feel needed and alive. At first, Emma told herself it was harmless and there was nothing wrong with it. She was just enjoying the attention and awe of a new man. But as the weeks turned into months, the line between friendship and something more blurred. Lucas became her salvation, a secret she carried with her like a forbidden treasure. At first, she'd started lying about little things, about where she was going or who she was seeing. But the lies grew bigger and harder. One evening, Daniel returned home from work earlier than usual. He'd planned a surprise dinner for Emma, hoping to rekindle the lost spark. But when he walked in the door, the house was empty. The kids had stayed the night at their grandmother's house, and Emma was nowhere to be found. He called her phone, but the call went straight to voicemail. Hours later, Emma returned, her cheeks flushed and her eyes shining. She told a story about meeting an old coworker and losing track of time, but Daniel wasn't convinced. Something in her voice, in the way she avoided his gaze, made him uneasy. He didn't argue with her that night, but the seed of doubt had been planted. Over the next few weeks, Daniel began to watch Emma's behavior closely. He noticed the way she smiled into the phone, the way she was distracted during family dinners. He began to piece together the truth, and with each revelation his heart broke more and more. One night when Emma was in the shower, he checked her phone. The messages between her and Lucas stabbed like a dagger into his chest. A confrontation was inevitable. Daniel waited until the kids were asleep and sat Emma down in the living room. His voice shook as he asked her a question he already knew the answer to. "Are you having an affair?" Emma froze, her face contorted into a mask of guilt and fear. At first, she tried to deny it, but the truth came out in a flood of tears and apologies. She told him about Lucas, about how lost she felt, about how she never meant for things to go this far. But her words brought no comfort. Daniel felt as if the ground had gone out from under his feet. The days that followed were spent in anger, tears, and sleepless nights. Daniel moved into the guest room, unable to bear the thought of sharing a bed with Emma. The children could feel the tension. Their once happy home was now filled with arguments and tense silence. Lily, perceptive beyond her years, began to pull away, and Noah and Mia clung to Daniel, confusion and fear reflected on their small faces. In the end, Emma's affair cost her everything. Daniel filed for divorce, unable to forgive the betrayal. He fought for full custody of the children, and to his surprise, the court granted it. Emma's behavior made her look like an unfit mother in the eyes of the law, and she was left with only visitation rights. Lucas had given up on her, too. What had seemed like a grand affair crumbled under the weight of reality. He wasn't prepared for the turmoil of a broken family and disappeared from Emma's life as quickly as he entered it. Emma was left alone. Her once tumultuous life turned into a series of empty days and sleepless nights. She tried to rebuild her relationship with her children, but the pain was too deep. Lily refused to speak to her. Noah looked at her with a mixture of anger and sadness, and Mia, too young to understand, simply cried. One evening, as Emma sat in her small apartment looking at the pictures of her family that she couldn't bring herself to put away, she realized the depth of what she had lost. Her husband's love, her children's trust, the life they had built together, all of it was gone, destroyed by her act. Years later, Emma watched Daniel and the children playing in the park from afar. They looked happy, their laughter blowing in the wind. She wanted to rush to them to beg for forgiveness, but she realized it was too late. The fragile thread that had once bound them together was broken, and no amount of regret could mend it. Turning and walking away, Emma whispered a quiet prayer. Someday her children would realize how sorry she was and find it in their hearts to forgive her. But for now, she would carry the weight of her mistakes, a constant reminder of the life she had thrown away.